Mustafa is joining. Assalamu alaikum, Mustafa. Right. So I hope that you all got a chance to, of course, firm up your Muslim charts. And I have a small quiz for you. Okay. So I'm going to be testing you because my objective is not to just pass you through the course content. My objective is that you actually get it. Yeah, and you actually get to apply it. So if you pass or fail the quiz, doesn't matter really. It really doesn't matter. What you need to see is where we stand today, because these charts are going to really form the foundations going forward for everything almost that you do. Right. So this is very, very basic. If you don't know A, you can't write apple. Right. So that's the whole idea. So I'm going to be testing you. So little bit, not a very harsh test, of course, very small, tiny test. What I suggest that you take 30 seconds to just revise your feminine and masculine Muslim charts, and then I'll ask you what to do next. Okay.
مسلمون مسلمان مسلمين مسلمان مسلمين مسلمين مسلمون مسلمين مسلمين مسلمتون مسلمتون مسلمتان مسلمتين مسلمتان مسلمتين مسلمتين مسلماتون مسلمات مسلماتين. Aren't they, Oji?
That's the
I think
spirit.
you're reading it from the sheet.
I can guarantee you the quiz I'm going to give you is not going to contain a word Muslim in it.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Marwata, you know some.
ये तो बेमानी है बात भाई.
Sir, teaching experience भी तो कुछ होता है ना. Acha, okay. So what I want you to do, how many people are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people excluding myself. I want each one of you to just pick a number between 1 to 8, from 1 to 8, right? Whenever I call your name, just pick a number. Let's start with Tala.
6.
Talha is 6. Okay, then let's go with Waqas bhai.
Because I hit many.
1.
Waqas bhai is 1. Okay, Uncle.
Gee, I'll go for 3, please. Thank you.
3, Uncle. Shams bhai. You mute Shams bhai. Are you intentionally mute Shams bhai?
4.
4.
Sarji, if there is no purpose of it, then why you are taking the quiz? Leave it now.
No. Quiz तो मैंने लेना है. उमर भाई.
1 किसी ने नहीं ले.
1 is on. The options are 2, 5, and 8. 2, 5, 7, and 8.
7.
7. Farhan.
2.
Farhan. So, Mustafa bhai, you don't really have a choice. It's either 5 or 8.
Sir, 5 or 8, I'm fine with anyone, but not running away from test. A friend's mother passed away, so I need to go to see him at 11. So I will not be attending the full course, but please record it. I can join it later, but I have like 10 minutes or so. So by the time I will be here.
Okay, so if you're here, we can start with you first, inshallah, and then you can leave if you want.
No. And I'm not really well prepared today.
It's okay. It's okay. It's absolutely fine. So look, what we did last time was Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin, Muslimani, Muslimaini, Muslimaini, Muslimuna, Muslimina, Muslimin. And Muslimatun, Muslimatan, Muslimatin, Muslimatani, Muslimataini, Muslimataini, Muslimatun, Muslimatin, Muslimatin. So what I want to do is I want to give you a word and I want you to produce 18 words. Right. So for example, let me run an example for you. So if there is a word called muallim, muallim means the teacher. Right. So what I want you to do is do muallimun, mualliman, muallimin, muallimani, muallimaini, muallimaini, muallimuna, muallimina, muallimina. Then muallimatun, muallimatan, muallimatin, muallimatani, muallimataini, muallimataini, muallimatun, muallimatin, muallimatin. That's all I want you to do. So whatever number you have chosen, I've actually randomly written few words, and I've asked you to choose a number, and I will give you your word that comes maps to your number. Right? That's what I've done. Okay, so it should be simple, inshallah. You can make mistakes. You may not be 100% fluent. That's absolutely fine. But let's try it. I just want to kill that hump of not trying it in this group. Right? So let's try it. Okay. So Mustafa, let's start with you.
Yeah.
So the word is kafir.
Okay. Let's start with kafirun, kafiran, kafirin, kufarin, kufarin,
Kafirani.
kafirani, kafirani, and then kafirini, kafirini, kafirin.
If you forget, go back to the Muslim version. Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin, Muslimani, and then
Kafirin,
Muslimaini.
Maini.
Maini, yeah, kafirai,
Kafirai.
kafiraini, kafiraini, kafiran, kafirun,
Kafiruna.
kafirina, kafirina, kafiratun, kafiratan, kafiraten, kafiratani, kafiratini,
Taini.
taini, kafirataini, kafiratan, kafiratan,
Kafiratun.
kafiratan,
Kafiratun.
kafiraten.
Good attempt, Mustafa. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks. It was a good one.
Thank you. So you feel free to leave whenever you want, Mustafa. It's fine.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks.
So let's start with the sequence then, Waqas bhai.
Sir.
Because you have done quite a lot of effort, so I'll start with you. Yeah. So Mujahid is the word.
Mujahid. Mujahidun, mujahidan, mujahidin. Mujahidani, mujahidaini, mujahidaini. Mujahiduna, mujahidina, mujahidina.
Perfect.
Mujahidatun, mujahidatan, mujahidatin. Mujahidatani, mujahidataini, mujahidataini. Mujahidatun, mujahidatin.
Mujahidatun. Stretch it a little bit. Mujahidatun.
Mujahidatun, mujahidatin, mujahidatin.
Perfect. 3 classes ago, you were not able to produce 9 Arabic words. MashaAllah, it's great progress. Okay. Farhan, your word is Sadiq.
Sadiq.
Let's try.
Okay. Sadiqu, Sadiqan, Sadiqin, Sadiqani, Sadiqanaini, Sadiqaini, Sadiquna, Sadiqina, Sadiqina. Sadiqatun, Sadiqatan, Sadiqatu, Sadiqatan, Sadiqatin.
Put the double accent on the first one always. Sadiqatun, Sadiqatan, and Sadiqatin.
Sadiqatan, Sadiqatin, Sadiqatani, Sadiqataini, Sadiqataini, Sadiqatu,
Sadiqatun.
Sadiqatun, Sadiqatin, Sadiqatin.
MashaAllah, Zabardast. Well done, Farhan. Thank you very much. Uncle, you're the third one. Let's give it a shot, inshallah. Okay. The word is mukabbir.
Okay. Mukabbirun, mukabbiran, mukabbirin.
Uncle put a double accent. Mukabbiran, mukabbirun, mukabbiran, mukabbirin.
Mukabbirun, mukabbiran, mukabbirin. Mukabbirani, mukabbiraini, mukabbiraini. Mukabbiruna, mukabbirina, mukabbirina.
Amazing.
Okay.
Wonderful. Next one.
Zabardast.
Now then the female one. Mukabbiratun, is it?
Yes.
Mukabbiratan, mukabbiratin, mukabbiratani, mukabbirataini, mukabbirataini, mukabbiratun, mukabbiratin, mukabbiratin.
Amazing. You're
Mashallah,
becoming an inspiration for everybody, mashallah.
Second class, eh? Now the teaching experience of 30 years is coming handy here, eh? Mashallah.
But Dr. Saab, I've had to catch up for 3 or 4 lessons, you see. I've been a bit poorly this week, to tell you the truth.
Inshallah.
First of all, can I just say thank you for the wonderful advice you gave in that first lesson and the input from the other students. It's really encouraged me to stay on the course, to tell you the truth.
Jazakallah,
It looks hard
jazakallah.
for me. I'm 60 now, and what the message I got from you was try to fix what remains of your life.
I can guarantee you, I've taught your classmates before, and they have phenomenally, mashallah, improved on their Arabic skills. So you will as well.
Well, they
Take
really
your time.
inspire me.
There is no
It's
rush.
so nice to see them doing so well. I pray that Allah Ta'ala grants them one drop of the ocean from Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Inshallah, inshallah, inshallah. Thank you, uncle. Number 4 is Shams Bhai. Shams Bhai, the word, no, sir, request. The word is munafiq.
मेरे लिए यही वर्ड मिला आपको. अच्छा.
देखें, शुक्र करें आपको काफिर नहीं दिया.
हाँ, ये भी सही है, ये भी सही है. नहीं, thank you so much, Fahad bhai. Thank you so much. All right, sir. So munafiqun, munafiqan, munafiqin, munafiqani, munafiqaini, munafiqaini, munafiquna, munafiqina, munafiqina. Munafiqatun, munafiqatin, munafiqatun, munafiqatan, munafiqatin, munafiqatani, munafiqataini, munafiqataini, munafiqatun, munafiqatin, munafiqatin.
Little bit stretching in the end. Munafiqatun, munafiqatin, munafiqatin. Wonderful, amazing.
Thank you, sir.
जितनी दस्तरस हासिल आपकी इस लफ्ज में, माशाल्लाह, इसका कोई बैकग्राउंड है, बाद में बात करेंगे.
सर, आपका चेहरा सामने है, आपका चेहरा सामने है, सर.
Well, it's your turn now. So the word is mukhalif.
مخالف مخالف مخالفا مخالفين مخالفان مخالفين مخالفين مخالفون مخالفين 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 في ملجأ مخالفة مخالفة مخالفتين مخالفتان مخالفتين مخالفتين مخالفتون مخالفات مخالفات.
Perfect. MashaAllah. Umar bhai, it's your turn now. So the word is mushahid. Let's give it a shot.
मैं चार्ट सामने रख सकता हूँ?
Feel free. But better for you is if you can say with your mind. What I suggest is try first. If you forget, look at the chart.
चलें, ठीक है. मेरी असल में वो फीमेल वाला चार्ट जरा कमजोर है. तो दूसरा
फीमेल वाली साइड सबकी कमजोर होती है.
आप अकेले नहीं, उमर भाई, आप अकेले नहीं.
आप चार्ट सुनाएं, मुशाहिद की बात करें.
ठीक.
The word is मुशाहिद.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. मुशाहिदुन, मुशाहिदन, मुशाहिदिन, मुशाहिदा, एक मिनट मुझे याद करना. मुशाहिदानी, मुशाहिदानी, मुशाहिदैनी, मुशाहिदैनी, मुशाहिदूना, मुशाहिदीना, मुशाहिदीना.
Perfect.
मुशाहिदातुन, मुशाहिदातन, मुशाहिदातुन, मुशाहिदातन, मुशाहिदातन, मुशाहिदातन,
तानी,
मुशाहिदातानी, मुशाहिदातैनी, मुशाहिदातैनी, मुशाहिदातुन, मुशाहिदातिन, मुशाहिदातिन.
Perfect. Wonderful. Guys, Zabardast, I'm impressed. Jazakallah, Zabardast. You cannot understand the lazzat of having a tea and testing others at the same time. That's only teachers get to do that. So I'm really proud of all of you. MashaAllah, you've done an amazing job. Now, this was more you producing the words. Now I want you to listen and just note down what you have heard. Okay, so what I want you to do is just take a notebook or whatever you have, just write numbers from 1 to 10 on it. Okay, what I will be doing is I will be reciting a surah. Okay, and when I stop at a word, I will make sure the pronunciation of the word is clear. What you hear, just write, is it a singular ending sound? Is it plural and ending combination? Is it from the masculine chart, feminine chart, whatever you hear, because you need to tune your ears as well when you listen to these things. These types of practices, inshallah, we'll do often. So we get tuned to these things. Okay. So whenever you're ready, have you written the numbers from 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Chale. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhal sorry, again, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhal insanu
Do we need to write
Magharraka.
insanu?
No. You just need to write which column this maps to the Muslim charts. It could be masculine, it could be feminine. You need to write 3 plus rafa, 3 plus nasab jar, or 1 rafa, 1 nasab, 1 jar. That's what you need to write. You understand? So if I say insanu, you're going to say, let me give you this answer. When you say insanu, you're going to go to Muslimun chart and say Muslimu. It maps to the Muslimun side, which is singular rafa. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. So one would be rafa, and the second word, yeah.
Correct.
Okay, clear.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody clear? Let's start again. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhal insanu ma gharraka bi rabbikal karimi. Bi rabbikal karimi. Allazi khalaq. जी.
तो भाई लास्ट वर्ड का करना है ना हमने जो आपने कहा है.
Wherever I
इंसान.
stop, I will repeat that word 2-3 times.
ठीक है.
For that word you have to do. ठीक है. ما غرك بربك الكريم الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك في أي سورة ما شاء ركبك كلا بل تكذبون بالدين وإن عليكم لحافظين كراما كاتبين يعلمون ما تفعلون إن الأبرار لفي نعيم وإن الفجار لفي جحيم يصلونها يوم الدين وما هم عنها بغائبين وما أدراك ما يوم الدين ثم ما أدراك ما يوم الدين يوم لا تملك نفس لنفس شيئا والأمر يومئذ لله. صدق الله. Everyone was able to write at least something in front of every number? Yeah? Right or wrong doesn't matter. Right or wrong doesn't matter. Yeah. It's one of my, I mean, it's a surah that I recite a lot in my salah, because one of the, let me share the screen and then I'll discuss this. I'll show you what's written on my screen now. Inshallah, then we'll validate your answers. This is the surah I shared with you. Okay. It's an amazing surah. It's a surah in Fitar. And Allah is talking to a mankind, us basically, insan, that what has happened to you, and he's telling us that I've created you, and I've created you in balance, meaning your leg is exactly the same as the other leg. Your one ear is exactly the same as the other ear. Absolute balance. Everything you have is in balance. Fi ayyi surat. Then I gave you a unique face. Although your internal structure is same, but still I differentiated you with your unique face and with your unique personality. Okay? And then kalla bal tukazzibuna biddin. Would you still deny? We still don't appreciate it. And in the end, he reminds us, inna alaykum lahafizin. There are watchers pointed on you. There are watchers appointed on you. Kiraman katibin. They are very noble writers. Ya'lamuna ma taf'alun. They know what you do. This is where Allah is telling us all of these things. I really like this surah, and I'll share one of my favorite recitations of this surah that completely forced me to come and memorize this one. It's not a very long surah. I'll share the recitation, inshallah, with you after this class. So number one, insanu. I'll give you the answers and you can map. Insanu is rafa, masculine, singular. Maps to Muslimu.
Followed
Yes.
by singular or three?
Singular.
No. Three was una.
Una.
Una. Muslimuna. Right? This is nu.
Singular to unni and sanun.
It has an al on it, Umar bhai. It has an
Sure.
al on it, therefore it's not un.
ठीक है.
Al Karimi is jar, masculine Muslim chart, singular.
Singular.
Right? Suratin, jar, masculine, feminine Muslim chart, singular. Yeah. Lahafizina, it's ina ending. Ina ending is only in the ina ending exists in both charts, but there is no ta before the zod, after the zod. It's not hafizatain or hafizatina. There is no hafizatina word in the feminine chart. Therefore, it's a plural masculine nasab or jar. Okay. Katibina, same. Plural
Same.
masculine nasab or jar. Al abrara, singular masculine nasab. Jahimin, singular masculine and jar. You will know in the future. At this point, I'm marking it as masculine for you, but you will know, inshallah, in the future that all the words almost used in the Quran for Jahannam are generally marked feminine. Okay? But at this point, you have marked it as masculine, which is absolutely fine. Okay? Bighaibina, it's plural, nasab or jar, masculine. Shay'an. Shay'an is masculine, singular, nasab. Yawma izin, masculine, singular, jar. Okay? Another,
Dr. Sam, can I just ask what was Suratin?
yes, it's Surah Infitar.
Sorry,
Surah
Suratin.
Infitar.
The word
Sorry, Suratin.
Yeah.
Was
that feminine or
Suratin,
singular?
yes. Yes, this is singular feminine jar.
Jar.
Singular feminine jar.
I was just thinking, but maybe I was overthinking. Al Kareem, right?
Yes.
It has al in it, and if it has an al, then it does the last alphabet cannot have tanween in it, correct?
Yes, never.
So then it maps on the plural side as well.
How?
This
is the plural chart. This is the plural chart, right? It has to be either una, ina, or ina. then it maps to plural, right? But it's al-karimi.
Yeah, I was making it on the female chart actually, feminine chart. Muslimatin, al-muslimati, like.
But there is no alif, right?
Yeah.
There is
That's
no
right.
alif, and there is no ta as well, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Got
Now that I've shown you this surah, I'll say a few things about this surah before I start the actual thing, because I really want you to. Ji.
Sorry to interrupt. दो वर्ड रह गए हैं, योमाइजन और लिल्ला. लिल्ला का आपने बताया.
Lillah, I did not stop at, so you did not mark. So it was yomaizin. Yomaizin is jar, masculine, singular. It's like Muslimin.
And shay'an was nasab.
Nasab, singular, masculine, like Muslim.
Singular, masculine. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to identify something in this surah, and I'll leave it for you to, inshallah, listen to the recitation and also try to memorize it. It's a very, very good surah. There is a word iza used here. Iza is when. The when of English. Okay, so although I had to teach it later on in the course, but let me give you an example. If I go to this town, I will eat ice cream. Okay, and if I say, when I go to the town, I will eat ice cream. What's the difference?
Condition.
Both are conditions, right?
So in first sentence, you are not sure. In second one, you are sure.
Yes, this is where there is no guarantee. This is where you have guarantee. When you use when, this thing is already decided it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time, right? But the first one might or might not happen, correct? When Allah uses the word iza, it's a condition that is likely to happen, bound to happen. Okay, that's what Allah uses iza for in the Quran. Now check this out. Iza sama unfatara, when the skies will tear apart. Okay. Wa izal kawakibul tasrat, when the stars will be scattered completely. Wa izal biharu fujirat, when the seas and oceans will start to boil, overflow. Right? Wa izal quburu bu'sirat, when the graves will reveal their contents, mean they will throw everyone out of them. Whoever is buried, they will just spill it out. Right? These are four conditions Allah has then said, and these are bound to happen. There's a word iza before every one of them. It's bound to happen. It's a condition that is not optional. Okay? In the last para of the Quran, the Juz 30, there are so many surahs that actually describe the end of times, the way things are going to happen. And we are believers in the Quran. And then Allah says, alimat nafsun, every soul. Alimat nafsun, every soul will know. Ma qaddamat wa akhara, what it brought forward and what it left behind. Every soul would know at that time. And then Allah very, very politely and very, very in a loving way asks a question to us, the ayahs that I recited. Ya ayyuhal insanu ma gharraka bi rabbikal kareem. Oh mankind, what has happened to you? What has happened to you? Allazi khalaqaka fasawwaka fa'adalak. I created you and I decorated you. Fi ayyi suratin ma sha'a rakkabak. And I balanced you. I gave you everything in balanced, and I gave you a surah. I give you a face, a personality, which is unique for you. But you still deny. You still don't understand. Let me assure you, inna alaykum lahafizin. Inna is a word that is used, inshallah we'll do very soon, inna. It is used to do It's just used to remove any doubts. It's in Arabic, it's called izalatu shak, but it's used to remove any doubts if somebody has it.
So
Allah
Beshak
says,
in Urdu.
Beshak in Urdu. Beshak in Urdu, exactly. So, inna alaykum lahafisin. Indeed, certainly there are watchers appointed upon you. Kiraman katibin. They are very noble writers. And Allah is telling us how many appointed. Can you tell me? Katibin. Katibina. How many
Two.
appointed on us?
Two.
Two. There are two. Katibin, noble writers. Ya'lamuna ma taf'alun. They know everything that you do. There's CCTV cameras. They're preparing your Facebook. That is going to be handed over to you in the Akhirah. That's your Instagram. That's your whatever, TikTok, that they're preparing for you. That's your timeline. Right? So it's amazing surah. I'll inshallah forward you the recitation. Memorize it and keep this in mind. And in the end, Allah says, Yawma la tamliku nafsun shay'a. On that day, everything will happen. Every soul will be in rush, kind of. But whatever will happen, wal amru yawma izin lillah, is going to be according to what I said, what I want, according to my commands. Right? So,
Fahad bhai, sorry for interruption. Very quick question, sir. Katibina, shouldn't it be in plural male section?
Good point. I was also.
Good point. Yes, we missed it out. Sorry. It's katibina, it's plural. You're right. Not two. It's plural. It's muslimina. Thank you, Shams bhai. So it's plural. So that actually tells us they're not just two, right? A lot of katibin, noble writers, CCTVs around us. So it's a very powerful surah, and it's not very long surah. This full surah, 19 ayahs, and ayahs are very small. You might want to go through this surah, read it in your time, try to memorize it, recite in your salah. The best gift you can give to Allah is memorize a surah and recite it in the salah. That's the best gift you can
Sorry,
give.
Dr. Saab, can I just ask? Shamsbai pointed out that it's plural, and you were saying it was two.
That was a mistake, Uncle.
I don't get it. I thought it was the Kiram al-Katibin we were referring to. I thought there was always two Kiram al-Katibin. No, Kiram al-Katibin.
Yes, this one. Kiram and Katibin is this one.
Yeah.
No, so Fahad bhai, the question from Uncle is that we are having two shoulders and two angels are sitting on each shoulder.
Right.
So that's what.
It's not necessarily referring to the two angels on your shoulders.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. It's generally referring to the kind of, how should I say, surveillance agents of Allah.
Right. Okay. That's plural. I understand that.
I think in this surah, it's not talking about only one person. It's talking about it created a lot of hafizin, like protectors and writers.
Correct. And it's generally referring to the mankind.
Insan,
right?
Because it started with insan. Yeah, absolutely.
So, inshallah, these types of debates and learnings we need to do as we grow into the language studies, dive deeper into this. But I just wanted to bring this up because I personally really like this surah. So try to read the meanings. I'll share with you the inshallah the recitation. Thank you very much. Very good job. I think you are prepared for the next step, and the next step is easy today. It's not super difficult. So what we have learned so far is the entire Muslim charts and all of that, and you have memorized those inshallah quite well. And we learned that Muslimun or Muslimatun, whichever you want to take, it's absolutely fine, is a standard ism in Rafa. And the most similar to this is Musliman, and then it's Muslimin. And we also learned that if you put an al before it, it loses the tanween because the tanween and al never go together. That's what we said, right? So what effectively it means is the status of this particular ism is not changing. It's just the introduction of al that takes the tanween away. Right? The status still remains rafa. Same is the case with the feminine and all the masculines that you have learned so far. But there is a difference. There is a difference between wait a second, let me this word and this word. And that difference I want to teach you. Muslimu and Muslimun. There is a difference between these two words. The first one is not al-Muslimu. It is not with a single accent because of an al. It is just single accent. Right? The Muslimun, if I put an al, I would lose the single accent. Right? In this particular case, still they are different words. Okay? So what I want to teach you is why do we go to this form and what this form actually means. Okay? And this is pretty simple for you now that you have memorized the Muslim charts. Okay. Wait a second. Okay. Now this form that you have done so far, al-Muslimu, mun, this form is called a heavy form of ism. What is it called? Heavy, because it has more weight on it. It's an un sound or un sound or in sound. Right? Whenever you have a noon sound or a na sound of sort in the end, it's generally a heavy ism. Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin. Even if I make it plural, Muslimuna, you would still have a noon sound, Muslimuna sound in the end. So those isms are in your charts are heavy isms. You can make those isms light. And the way you don't go, why do we make them light? I'll tell you why do we make them light. But right now, just understand the process of making a heavy ism into a light ism. Keep in mind the default state of an ism is heavy. If I give you three words, meme, seen, and jim, and I tell you an ism, you should be telling me masjid, sorry, meme, seen, jim, and dal. Masjidun should be the default form that you would be telling me, not masjidu. Okay? So you'll always be telling me the heavy form. Now, what you do effectively is, your objective is to get rid of the noon sound, the n sound in the end. How do I do that in Muslimun? I change the double accent to a single accent. So I've gotten rid of the n sound that is produced. So I've made it light, right? So that's the overall process of making things light. And I want to go through with you in this entire chart, and let's make this light so you really understand. And then I'll tell you why you actually make an ism light. You can produce this entire thing yourself now if you understand the process. The original word was Muslimun. It's a heavy form. And what you would do is make it light by removing the noon sound, the n sound in the end. Muslimu. The next word is Musliman. What do you think it will become?
Muslima.
Muslima.
Muslima. Correct. Now, remember one thing. Tanween was a friend of Alif. I told you last time, right? Tanween is a friend of Alif. But Alif is not a friend of a single accent. Alif doesn't live with single accent. It only lives with Tanween. So it says, no, I'm going to get rid of Alif. So whenever you have a single accent, there is no Alif in the end. So Alif is only required when you have heavy weight on it. So to hold it, the Tanween, right? So this becomes Muslima. And I'm sure you can produce the next one. Help me out here. Muslimi. You know, you see what we're doing? We're just changing the double accent to a single accent. Muslimu, Muslima, Muslimi. Some of you have asked this question to me before. So why are we not doing Muslimu, Muslima, Muslimi? We are doing it now, and you will probably understand why it is necessary. I'll give you some reasons why this is required. Okay. Now, then you go to the pair form. Muslimani. Now, how do I get rid of a noon sound here? There is no tanween that I can change. Any thoughts?
Me?
I'm talking about this one. I want to get rid of, yes,
Musliman.
but you're still saying na in the end, Musliman. Yeah,
Okay.
still saying it.
Move noon like Muslima.
Correct. Kick the noon out. So get rid of noon. Just get rid of the noon. It's a lighter form. Muslima. The pronunciation of Muslima is a short ending pronoun, Muslima. And the pronunciation of this one is Muslima. It's longer. It's longer. Arabic is all about sounds and how the language sounds and you hear it. Muslimaini would become
Muslimai.
Muslimai. Muslimai. And the next one would also become
Same
Muslimai. Right? Remember, the status is still the same. Muslimai is still nasab or jar. It's still pair. It's still masculine. It's just not heavy. It's lighter. Okay? So once you know the Muslim charts, you can actually, you don't need to memorize these. This is logic. You can just produce them by just removing the end sounds in the end. Coming to the plurals, removing the noon, Muslimu. Yeah.
So
Muslimai.
it'll be Muslimu.
Muslimai.
What's the difference? And what's the difference between the Rafa singular Muslimu and then Muslimu?
The ending sound is longer, Muslimu, and the first one is Muslimu. Yeah. When you have a vowel, you are stretching the sound a little bit more. Okay? So for an Arab, it makes a huge difference. For us, it doesn't really. We don't see the difference. But for Arab, it can completely change the meaning. You're talking about multiple Muslims, and then you're talking about one Muslim. Okay? So that's why tajweed is important. Muslimu and Muslimu. That's the difference. Now, you see, this entire chart is now a light version of the same Muslim chart. If you could say the Muslim chart, you should be able to say Muslimu, Muslima, Muslimi, Muslima, Muslimai, Muslimai, Muslimu, Muslimi, Muslimi, without issues. Because you're just, all you're doing is not saying the complete word, just removing the N part in the end, right? Same concept applies to the feminine. Same thing applies to the feminine. Muslimatu, Muslimata, Muslimati. Muslimatani would become Muslimata, Muslimataini would become Muslimatai, Muslimataini would become Muslimatai. Muslimatu would become Muslimatu, Muslimatin would become Muslimati, and Muslimati. It's logic. It's not rote memorization. It's all logic.
So Dr. Saab, how will be different than in a singular Rafa, let's say, because now there's no wow, so it'll be same then, will it? Matu, matu.
Again, the stretching sound. Stretching sound.
The stretching. This alif, you are stretching the sound. You're reciting it longer. Muslimatu, and the first one is Muslimatu.
Muslimatu, and then stretching the as per correct. As okay, yeah, correct. Okay. Correct. Matu.
Right. So there's a stretch here. Alif is always a stretch. Waw is always a stretch, and ya is always a stretch little bit compared to the fatha, dhamma, and kasra. So in the process overall is very simple to produce a light version of a heavy ism. All you're doing is getting rid of a N sound in the end. The question is, why do we do this? There are 4 reasons in Arabic when ism is made light. 4 reasons. I will give you 2 of them right now. 2 of them you will understand later. You will not get it yet. I'll just give you 2 of them. So reason number 1. Let me go to your notes. If you go to your notes, you have page number 8. You have page number 8. There are 4 reasons when an ism is made light. Reason number 1. Absolute. Oops, this is Arabic. Wait a second. Font size 12. Okay. Absolute and categorical negation. When you have to negate something absolutely and categorically, you will use a light ism. Okay. Example.
Election नहीं होंगे.
Absolutely and categorically. उसकी अरबी नहीं हो जाती भाई. Quran.com. this website should be your friend for learning Arabic. One of the very famous ayahs that we almost everybody knows. Alif Lam Mim. Zalikal Kitabu La Rayba Fi. Okay. The word Rayba. What's the status?
Nasab.
Nasab.
Nasab. Is it masculine?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is masculine. Is it heavy?
No.
No.
No. Why is it not heavy?
Because
Look at
it,
this.
Absolute.
La.
Okay.
It's absolute no. No.
No. La Raiba. Look at the translation. There is no doubt. It doesn't emphasize on the absoluteness. You see that? The translations would generally not emphasize on that. And that's why the translations would not give you the full meaning. That's why you need to learn the language. Right? So La Raiba means absolutely, categorically no doubt. That's what it means. It's a very strong no. That book, absolutely no doubt in it. Okay? It's a Hidayah for the Muttaqin. That's what it means. Okay? You also do, for example, this term. La ilaha. La ilaha. La ilaha illallah. Yeah? La ilaha. Why is it not la ilahan? Why is it la ilaha?
There
because
is
of
no
love.
There is absolutely no doubt there is no other God. Yeah, there is no other deity. It's absolute negation. Okay? That's one of the reasons isms are used in light form. Okay? The second reason is
Sorry, Fahad bhai, sorry for the interruption.
yes.
Probably I'm going a step ahead, but stop me if
Indeed.
I am. For this first reason, does it mean that any ism with la, not every ism, but usually ism after la is lighter?
No,
No? Okay, fine. Thank you.
no, doesn't mean that. The second reason is when calling someone. When calling someone. Ya talhatun is a wrong word. Ya talhatu is correct. Ya Muhammadu is correct. We just did an example. Just did an example. Just how it is. In Fitar. The surah we were just doing. Ya ayyuhal insanu. Ya ayyuhal. Ya ayyuha is used for calling somebody. Hey, oh. Yeah, we'll do that inshallah in the advanced levels. But the ism used is not heavy. It's a lighter one. In this particular case, it also has an al, of course. Usually the isms with an al are not. The concept of light and heavy usually doesn't apply to isms with al. But I'm just giving you an example of how something is called in the Quran. So it's ya or ya ayyuha. These are the terms used in the Quran to call somebody. So when you have a term like you want to call a Muslim, and you would say something like this. For example, Ya Muslimu. That's how you would call it. Just remember this. You can't say Ya Muslimun. This is wrong. Okay? You will always use the lighter form. So these are two reasons that at this point in time, you need to just be informed about. Inshallah, later on, when we go more advanced levels in studies, we'll touch upon these things in a bit more detail. The other two, you will right now not get it. So there's no point of telling you right now. Okay? We'll come back to this page, inshallah, when we have done that. Right. Now, let me go back to your page number 7. In page number 7, this is about light versus heavy. Okay? Let's read through it a little bit. Normally, an ism should be heavy. All the words in Muslim charts are heavy. That's a default state of any ism. An ism is made light by removing the extra n sound. How do you do that? You remove the double accent, tanween, or you remove the extra noon in that. That's what you do. The al doesn't like tanween, but ism with al is not considered light. Let me give you an example of what it means. If I say here, Muslimun. Okay? If I say Muslimun, if I put an al here, I will have to change this tanween to single accent. Yeah, with me so far? I will have to change the tanween to a single accent. But if I have a plural form, for example, Muslimuna, do I have to remove the noon because of an al? We never studied something like that, right? You can still say al-Muslimuna, the Muslims. Al is effectively the, right? So al has a problem with tanween, not the noon. It has a problem with double accent, not the noon. You can put an al in a pair form. You can have al-Muslimani, al-Muslimaini, al-Muslimaini, al-Muslimuna, al-Muslimina, al-Muslimina. But a singular tanween doesn't go well with al. The concept of light ism applies to the whole chart, not just a singular column. Right? So when you put an al, then your ism becomes like this. You can't call it light because the light concept doesn't apply like this to pair and the plural. You get the point?
So even al-Muslimu will be not called a light ism. It is still
Yes.
heavy. But because of al, we are not using tanween.
Yes, exactly. The concept of light and heavy, the question of light and heavy is irrelevant for isms having an al. That question is
Singular.
not even asked. Yes,
Say
Salah.
again, Fahd.
The question of heavy versus light is irrelevant for isms that have an al on it. The concept of light applies to isms which are, how should I say, without al. Without al. Why can't you apply it to the isms with al? If you apply it to the isms with al, then in the pair and the plural form, you don't make them light by putting al. You do only that in the singular form. So it cannot be applied to the whole chart.
So it means that any ism which has al is always considered as a heavy ism.
You can understand it like that. Yes, the ism with an al is a definite ism, and it is in the standard form, which is the heavy form. Okay? But usually the question of heavy versus light is not asked on an ism with al. Usually for isms which are without.
Fahd, I'm really sorry. Just to clear my confusion over here, you mentioned that with al, things are always, or ism is always heavy. This is what you're mentioning? Because, for example, I give you an example. If I say, Ya ar-Rahman, here I am using the ism which is light, ar-Rahman, and I'm using Ya as well. So it should be light, right?
When you are saying ar-Rahman, you are actually putting an al on a word Rahman, right? So what I'm saying is, when you talk about an ism with al, the topic of light versus heavy becomes irrelevant for it. The topic of light versus heavy is for isms that do not have al. And the reason for that is, when you put an al, you only impact the singular, but you don't impact the pair and the plural. Whereas the light versus heavy impacts the entire set, singular, pair, and the plural. So you can't really apply the concept of light versus heavy with isms with an al. Yes, Tala.
Another example pops up, like when we make a dua, we say, Ya Rahim, Ya Kareem, Ya Sultan. These are always, so whenever we are calling someone, all these words that we are adding, we are not saying Kareemun, Sultanun, So it's
Yes.
always become a light that we are calling
Yes.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yes. Ya Allah, Ya Allahun is wrong. Ya Muhammadu, Ya Talhatu, Ya Shamsu, Ya Waqasu. This is all light. Cannot be heavy. Okay, when you're calling somebody. So very, very quickly, you have these charts here. You don't have to memorize them because you can produce them by just applying this algorithm, this logic, right? You don't really have to, but you should be able to, inshallah, in future classes, be able to detect if an ism is written as a light or a heavy ism, which you will get very affluent with, inshallah, as you go. There's a small exercise here. Let me just quickly run you through that. I'll do few of them with you and I'll leave them for you, inshallah, to complete on your own. And then any questions can pop up in the next class and we can address them, or in the WhatsApp. Okay? So I actually gave you a word muallimun today. I think somebody did that. I think I did that myself, muallimun. So here the word says muallimai. You need to build a thinking process that if this word was written in its full form, you need to identify if an ism is light or heavy here. That's number one. That's the exercise. You will write an L for a light and H for a heavy. Okay. So what you're doing is you're looking at the word and you're trying to detect if it is light or not. And then you're trying to build a process in your mind. If I'm reading muallimai and I know the Muslim chart and I can map the word muallimun to the Muslim chart, then I will be able to produce its entire form. Muallimani, muallimaini, muallimaini. Right? If I can produce that form, then I know that the noon is missing here. There is a noon which is missing here. Let me scribble around here.
और भाई आप मौली मई कह रहे हैं, ये मौली मी नहीं?
Muallimi, sorry. Yes, it's muallimi hai. Muallimi hai, but the point is, even if it is muallimi, the actual word was muallimina. Right? Muallimina was the word in the chart, right? And the noon is now cut off. We don't have that noon here. So because you've taken the noon away, this is a light form of the ism. Any confusions? Let's try another one.
The actual status, yeah, that will stay the same. It will stay the
Yes.
nasab and jar, right? It's just a lighter variant.
Correct. Status doesn't
And the
change.
reason, yeah, and the reason for that is, of course, that now those two reasons, yeah, because we are calling someone, we're calling those stars here, muallimi.
Don't map to those reasons. I just gave you those two reasons, but those two reasons do not necessarily have to map here right now. There are two additional reasons, right? That
So
I have
it's
not
just
given.
fair enough.
So just keep those reasons in mind. But at this point, just let's try to detect if something is light or heavy. Okay.
Okay.
Talibatun, what do you think? Is it light?
Heavy.
Heavy.
It's heavy. And why is it heavy?
Double accent.
It has double accent. And you're looking at double accent, you're actually producing an N sound from your mouth. Yeah. And that's why it's heavy. Tamisun?
Heavy.
Heavy. Aina?
Light.
Light.
Nah.
Everyone sees that or not? What was the original word?
Ainani.
Ainani. Where does it map?
Singular, masculine,
Think again.
and Rafa.
No, it's a pair.
Muslimatani is
Sorry,
pair.
pair. Yeah, pair. Sorry.
It's pair.
Pair. The original word was Ainani, Muslimani. Yeah? Muslimani. Ain is eyes. How many eyes do you have? Two. Ainani. Okay? 2 eyes. Okay.
Word Ainak came from this probably, right?
Which one?
Ainak.
Ainat. Aina, actually the word Ain is used
No,
for many things.
Spectacles. Anak.
Ainak.
Anak.
Yes. There are many
Anka.
words similar in Urdu. Anka. Anka. Ab mujhe samajh aaya.
N can become plural.
Kalimati. Light, heavy.
Light.
Light.
Light. Good. Qawlan.
Heavy.
Heavy.
See, you're getting PhDs in light and heavy as well. I told you I'm going to give you many PhDs. Yeah.
3 तो आपने बताया थे ना हमें आज शुरू के लेसन में 3 PhDs.
ये चौथा है. Al-banuna.
Heavy.
Light, heavy.
Heavy.
Light.
Ikhtilaf in the ummah.
Heavy.
Light or heavy? Yeah?
Heavy.
Muslimuna.
It is just like Noman. It is light.
Who thinks it's heavy?
Heavy.
Talha, you think it's heavy? Umar, you think it's heavy? And the advocates of light? Shams bhai. Why is it like Shams bhai?
Sir, I don't know the meaning of this word, but it sounds like it could be just like Noman. You gave an example in the first class that not every word is which is ending with an or un is a plural or pair.
Yes. Okay. So it means sons. Bete. So light or heavy?
But I think it has al also, Fat, I guess. I think
it has al, correct?
So it is regardless of
regardless of heavy and light. It's regardless of that.
Yes. So al doesn't impact al doesn't impact anything, right? So it's just here to make it definite, right? It's talking about something particular, right? So but still it has a una ending. It still has that una ending. Yes.
I'm relating it to Muslimuna.
All right, so
Is it that sound?
yeah. So sir, bun is the singular beta. Bun is the singular beta. Ibn is the singular beta. Yeah. Then it's heavy. Then it's heavy. Sorry.
It's heavy, and you might be confusing it with a word like Fir'aun. Right? It has also an una ending, but it's not plural.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is it's a name. Just like Noman, like Salman, like Khan, these are all names. Okay, so we are a little bit overrunning. So I just want to do one last one, this one, and then inshallah we can close. Rasulullah.
Light.
Everybody sees that. Excellent. So guys, you have to just complete this. It should be simple, inshallah, for you now. Do your best. If there's any confusion, put on WhatsApp and I'll inshallah help you. In the next class, we have the last topic and a little bit of a tricky topic to close the study of status. Then we'll be done with the status. So far, you have only been studying the status of ism. Right. So last topic, next class, inshallah. If you get it in the next class, great. Otherwise, another class. And then in the next 2 classes, we'll be done with the study of status, and we'll move forward with the new properties of ism, which should take less time than the status, inshallah. In 1-2 classes, max 3, we should be done with the 4 properties of ism, and then things will start to open up. Okay?
Inshallah.
Good?
Jazakallah.
Inshallah. Chale. Thank you very much. Jazakallah. And
okay.
Inshallah, see you next Sunday.
Jazakallah khair.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.